30 Least Educated Countries in the World. Written by Tsar Hamid. In this article, we will be navigating through the 30 least educated countries in the world. As reported by UNESCO, the world has significantly progressed in education over the years. As compared to 68% of the population being able to read and write in 1979, more than 86% have a similar capability as of now. However, adult literacy is still an issue with almost 763 million adults lacking literacy skills. The COVID-19 pandemic majorly disrupted global education. Between March 2020 and September 2021, nearly 131 million schoolchildren in 11 countries missed 3/4 of classroom instruction. The majority of the impacted students were from the Philippines and Bangladesh. Region-wise, South Asia and East Asia and the Pacific were the two regions where full school closures were widely maintained. The impact on Africa was also evident by the fact that while the total out-of-school children increased, the dropout rate among girls in secondary education in Malawi went up by 48% between 2020 and 2021. Sub-Saharan Africa has been victim to a deprivation of reading and numeracy skills among its children. Countries such as the Central African Republic, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Chad, and Ghana remain subject to this lack of foundational skills in children. An important relation in this regard is how the attainment of education is intertwined with wealth inequality. Especially for reading skills, children belonging to the wealthy segment tend to have better skills than those who live in poverty. Countries with the highest poverty rates have also been previously discussed. Several other factors influencing these skills in children relate to functional difficulties, lack of books at home, and mothers not having primary education. Similarly, the social inequalities and caste system restrict literacy in India. While rural children engage in work instead of school, those from the lower castes face issues with access to education. Our methodology. In order to compile a list of the 30 least educated countries in the world, we sourced data from the World Bank. We selected the literacy rate among adults aged 15 and above as our metric. As reported by the World Bank, the adult literacy rate refers to the percentage of people ages 15 and above who can both read and write with understanding a short simple statement about their everyday life. The least educated countries tend to have the lowest adult literacy rates and have been ranked in descending order of their most recent adult literacy rates. 30. Angola. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 72.4%. In 2022, literate adults in Angola were recorded at 72.4%. Among them, the females had a literacy rate of 62.5%, which highlights a gender gap. 29. Bhutan. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 72.1%. Bhutan is another less educated nation. According to the World Bank, the literacy rate among adults aged 15 and above in the country was last recorded at 72.1%. 28. Nepal. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 71.2%. Nepal ranks as one of the least educated countries in the world. This is evident from the fact that 71.2% of the country's population aged 15 and above were reported to be literate in 2021. 27. Timor-Leste. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 69.9%. The percentage of 15-year-olds and above with literacy skills in Timor-Leste was reported to be 69.9% in 2020. Female literacy rate was recorded at 66.5%. 26. Malawi. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 68.1%. 68.1% of Malawi's population aged 15 and above was literate as recorded in 2022. Hence, Malawi ranks among the 30 least educated countries in the world. 25. Mauritania. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 67%. Mauritania is another less educated nation. In 2021, The literacy rate among the population aged 15 and above in the country was 67%. 24. Togo. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 66.5%. In 2019, the adult literacy rate in Togo was reported to be 66.5% by the World Bank. Hence, Togo is one of the least educated countries in the world. 23. Nigeria. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 62%. In 2022, the percentage of literate adults who were 15 and above was recorded at 62% in Nigeria. Therefore, the country ranks among the least educated nations around the world. 22. Comoros. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 61.7%. Comoros ranks as another nation with a low level of education. In 2022, 61.7% of the country's population aged 15 and above were reported to have literacy skills. 21. Haiti. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 61.7%. The overall literacy rate in Haiti was last recorded at 61.7% in 2016. The female literacy rate was 58.3% while the males had a literacy rate of 65.3%. 20. Papua New Guinea. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 61.6%. Papua New Guinea ranks among the 30 countries with the least education. 61.6% of the country's adults aged 15 and above were reported to be literate by the World Bank. 19. Sudan. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 60.7%. The literacy rate among adults aged 15 and above in Sudan was last reported to be 60.7% in 2018. Females are less literate than males in the country. 18. Mozambique. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 59.8%. Only 59.8% of Mozambique's population aged 15 and above qualified as being literate in 2020. Hence, the country ranks among the least educated nations in the world. 17. Gambia. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 58.7%. In 2022, 58.7% of the population aged 15 and above in Gambia was reported to be literate. The female literacy rate was lower than that of males and was recorded at 52.3%. 16. Pakistan. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 58%. Pakistan ranks as one of the 30 least educated countries in the world. In 2019, only 58% of adults in Pakistan aged 15 and above had the ability to read and write. 15. Senegal. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 57.7%. The percentage of adults with literacy skills in Senegal was recorded to be 57.7% in 2022 while the female literacy rate in the country was 47.1%. 14. Guinea-Bissau. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 53.9%. Guinea-Bissau is one of the least educated countries where 53.9% of the adults aged 15 and above had literacy skills as reported in 2022. 13. Ethiopia. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 51.8%. In 2017, adults in Ethiopia had a literacy rate of 51.8% while 44.4% of the females were known to be literate. Hence, Ethiopia ranks as one of the least educated countries in the world. 12. Sierra Leone. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 48.6%. Sierra Leone ranks among the least educated countries globally. In 2022, 48.6% of adults aged 15 and above had the capability to read and write in the country. 11. Liberia. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 48.3%. The literacy rate among adult women in Liberia was last recorded at 34.1% in 2017. The overall literacy rate among the country's adults was 48.3%. 10. Benin. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 47.1%. Benin is another less educated nation. The country had a literacy rate of 47.1% among its population aged 15 and above in 2022. 9. Guinea. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 45.3%. Guinea ranks as one of the least educated countries in the world. The literacy rate among women aged 15 and above was only 31.3% in 2021. The overall literacy rate for Guinea was recorded at 45.3%. 8. Somalia. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 41%. The literacy rate among adults aged 15 and above in Somalia was 41% as recorded last in 2022. The country has one of the lowest female literacy rates among all other countries. 7. Niger. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 38.1%. Niger is one of the least educated nations. While the country's overall literacy rate was 38.1% in 2022, females in the country had a relatively low literacy rate of 29.7%. 6. Central African Republic. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 37.5%. The literacy rate in the Central African Republic was only 37.5% in 2020. The female literacy rate in the country was 26.2% while the male literacy rate was 49.2%. Hence, the Central African Republic is another less educated country. 5. Afghanistan. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 37.3%. The proportion of literate adults in Afghanistan aged 15 and above was recorded at 37.3% in 2021. Females had a literacy rate of 22.6% while the male literacy rate was recorded at 52.1%. Hence, Afghanistan ranks among the least educated countries across the globe. 4. South Sudan. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 34.5%. South Sudan ranks as one of the 30 least educated countries in the world. As reported by the World Bank, only 34.5% of the country's population aged 15 and above had literacy skills in 2018. 3. Burkina Faso. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 34.5%. In 2022, the overall literacy rate among adults in Burkina Faso was 34.5%. The female literacy rate in the country was recorded at only 29.1%. 2. Mali. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 30.8%. Mali is another one of the least educated nations. Among the country's adults aged 15 and above, 30.8% had an ability to read and write as reported last in 2020 by the World Bank. 1. Chad. Literacy rate among population aged 15 and above, 27.3%. Chad ranks at the top of the least educated countries in the world. In 2022, only 27.3% of the country's population aged 15 and above was literate. If you find this material relevant, we invite you to show your support by liking the video and subscribing to our channel. We regularly upload new videos every week, and your subscription helps us continue creating valuable content. Thank you for your support. This content is proudly presented by the online community of African students. Join us in the vibrant African students community by visiting our website at www.africanstudents.net. Let's connect, learn, and grow together.